guys, this is me, Malorian, and this is going to be a channel update. Just kind of like talking about the channel and what's going on and some stuff for the future. Now, the first thing I want to talk about is battle reports. As you might have noticed, battle reports have kind of stopped for some reason. Now, the reason for this is a couple, really. For starters, my computer is garbage. A while ago, this is a pretty old computer. The battery's fried. Ever since then, you know, I've had some things where it shuts down where it's not supposed to, cause some more damage, and I've been kind of limping on trying to make this computer last. But what's happening now is that what I use to actually make battle reports on here for the pictures, right? For the way that I do my process to do a picture battle report that I piece together and voice over, that's no longer working. Whenever I try and save and render a video, it has errors, pops up, and it doesn't work. I've tried, restarting all the usual stuff and trying to redo these battle reports several times, and I just cannot get to work. So unless I try using a different format or something, it's not really possible. It's unfortunate because I have some really good games I was hoping to share. Some of the ones I was wanting to share, for example, is I went to a tournament with Kane 1. And I went through there, and I want to kind of share that experience and all that, because it was something different. And unfortunately, I just couldn't get to work. So actually, if you want to see those, and you haven't seen them already, I just did a write-up. I just did it on the Mr. Malorian Facebook page. You can also find it on the Signar page. And yeah, I just do a write-up of all 4 games, and the conclusion, and all that fun stuff there. So if you want to read it, I got it there. If you don't watch it, I can't really do that. Now, another thing, too, that I've been having coming up lately is that I've really been going hard with the Mercenaries this year and trying to be a little bit more competitive. And what that's been really meaning is Thexus, 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 Thexus. And I know, from my part, it gets a little bit boring playing Thexus, although it's important for me to master it. But on your side, it must be so boring to see Thexus versus this person, Thexus versus that one. No, it's Thexus versus that person. Oh, now it's a rematch of this other. I know that that's going to be silly. And in fact, I was going to be doing a parody video, kind of like a parody battle report, talking about all my Thexus games. But because of that, I was already kind of thinking, man, these battle reports aren't really working. Now, in order to answer these, one of the things I was looking at doing is, at first, because I can't do the picture ones right now, is kind of make a return back to the video style, where I actually have the video camera set up and it's recording, and then I voice it over. That's something I can still do with what I have on here. It's the way I still make these ones. But still, we have the issue where it's just Thexus all the time, unless I'm forcing myself to play something else. And since I'm now part of this Murderer's Row, and we're trying to do very well, and we're gearing up for the Alberta War Machine Invitational and stuff like that, it's not going to give you that diversity. So something I tried to do is, I mentioned I'm part of that Murderer's Row now, and we have a lot of top players in that group who play and can showcase a lot of different factions and a lot of different casters. So one of the things I was wondering we could do is actually kind of do something a lot like the Advanced Maneuvers group, where they have a group of people that can play their games, and you get a good diversity of all the different things being showcased, and as well, you're getting the double opinions, right? It's nice when I can go on there and I can explain, oh, I'm doing this because, but when you get both sides, it's a much better picture. So I was wondering if I could actually get them on board, whether we did it as part of this channel or whether we made a brand new Murderer's Row channel. And there was a good amount of interest. There seemed like a group of 8 of us that were looking to kind of do this kind of type of format. But unfortunately, I don't know if there will be the inspiration to keep going. We tried doing a process thing. It was hey, in order for this to work, you have to record a sound video and send it to me. And then as long as that's easy thing for you guys can do, I can do all the editing. And unfortunately, out of those 8, only 1 was able to do that, or was willing to do that. So that's the thing. The Advanced Maneuvers guys, hats off to you, because that's a lot of dedication, right? It's something where you have to plan out your gaming. You have to make sure you're adding that extra time, right? Already, this is a hobby that takes up a lot of time. And to ask someone hey, do you want to spend extra time doing this extra work that might not really even give anything to you? It's a lot to ask. So, nothing against my Murderer's Row buddies. And again, tip of the hat to the Advanced Maneuver guys. So those are battle reports. I'm going to kind of see what I can do. One of the things I can do to try and add a little bit of diversity is we still have the gaming nights. Like almost every Thursday here we have gaming nights, and there's like 12 of us here playing. I can always kind of like just record a random game and then put up that report, but be like, how do I want to do that? Do I want to do that with like just full audio? So at least you're seeing like different casters, but then there's the issue of, background noise, right? You might hear my kids playing, you might hear my wife yelling at me, there's all the other games going on, so I don't know how well or how good that battle report would actually come across. I could actually try and go on and voice them over myself, speed them up and voice them up, but the thing I learned from when I did the War Machine Wednesday is unless I'm just sitting there and actually watching the game, I do a horrible job of trying to cover it after, right? I mean, I do my best by making a lot of guesses, and I won't be in that position where I can sit down and watch them play. I want to be playing myself, right? So that's going to pose some issues, but I'm going to try and do those things to try and have some of that content still. Now, the content that I am doing, and I'm actually looking a lot more forward to doing, is the Orc Tactical Teams. For my part, they're a lot easier, right? 10 minutes done, I just do some quick editing and out it goes. It doesn't take anything away from gaming time. I don't need to plan anything so much as just like, hey, this is a good topic, let's talk about it. And the biggest thing that I've been seeing is that these videos have been getting more views than my battle reports have. So, I mean, when I was comparing the two, it's like, well, I can do a 10-minute Orc Tactical Team, and it's getting like some of them close to 1,000 views. Or if I can go and do a battle report, which takes time away from my family as I'm trying to do this editing, I'm dedicating a lot of extra time to do this, well, then I'm getting like, 300, 400 views. And it's like, well, between the two, I think this Orc Tactical Team might be the better way to go. Now, one complaint I've been having from people is I keep on being called like, oh, it's clickbait, Malorian. Why keep on putting out this clickbait? The thing you got to remember, guys, is that if I don't give this a title that is short and concise and grabs your attention, people aren't going to bother. A good example is I did one lately that was called Girls Are a Problem. Now, that's something that's like, well, what is this about? I want to see it. I want to go into it. And I suppose you could call it clickbait, but it's not like, on the internet where there's like a short, stupid, like, article where you open it up and there's all these ads and maybe like 2 sentences and you're not getting information. This was a very important topic that I wanted to get across and talk to you about. I feel that I did a good job covering it, and if I would have given a different name, like the worrisome statistical anomalies between female and male gamers in War Machine and other tabletop gaming, like that's not something that even fits within the confines of the title on YouTube, and it's not going to grab your attention, right? You see this, something statistics, yeah, skip it, keep on going. So, you guys can call it whatever you want, but it's something that gets the idea across. And if you want to call it clickbaiting, whatever, I call it short, concise, effective titles. So those are definitely going to keep on going. I have a lot more big topics I want to cover. I want to kind of cover these bigger issues. Like before, my Orc Tactical Teams were actually about tactics. And I'd be saying, okay, well, you want to take this unit, you want to do this, you want to take this and do that. But the problem with those videos is that they're very specific. And so unless you play that faction or that army when, I was back in fantasy, it doesn't really mean much to you. So I can come back and I do ones on like positioning and make some general videos. And I'm hoping to kind of mix those in as well. But at the same time, there'll be some bigger ones. Like the next one I want to talk about is something about casual gamers. This is something that my friend Terry, that Terry girl, had brought up in her video. I posted up for you guys to check out there on the Mr. Malorian Facebook page. And I kind of want to go in, I want to kind of give my thoughts on it, right? Because, some of these things are more community issues as opposed to being more so, this faction, oh my god, Stormlances are broken type questions, right? So that's really where this channel is going. I would really love to bring back the battle reports, but I'm having troubles with those. I know people have wanted the paint-a-sodes, but if I do the paint-a-sodes, then I use up all my content that, basically in one show, in 1 hour show, I'm covering all my Orc Tactical Team type topics for a month and a half. And it just kind of like makes it so that only one can live, right? And I know I've talked about before where I could actually just do a paint-a-sode and then be just like chatting about whatever. But I kind of figure that if people want that material where it's just random non-War Machine things while you paint and do your hobby stuff, well, at the same time, if that's what you're after, I also do that podcast, the Idiots of the Round Table, on movie stuff, right? So there's that you could watch if you're wanting other random content while you're painting and doing other hobby things. So I'm trying to figure out how this all pieces together. Of course, you guys are the fans, you guys are the viewers. If you have any comments of things that you want to see, don't want to see, post it down below. I'm going to do my best to kind of keep all you guys happy and keep everything going, but there you go. So there's my update there. I guess I could also say that we're having some big tournaments coming up. GrotzCon, which is a big event, big con here in Western Canada, is coming up. Pretty much the two biggest cons are going to be GrotCon and Attack X. Attack X will be a little bit later, but yeah, for right now, GrotzCon. But that'll be a new video that'll be coming out later where I'll talk about my plans for that 3-day event. And yeah, should be really great. So thanks for watching, guys, and we'll catch you later. Bye.